And he's Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Foley.
And we're back with another live. We're getting along for once. We're not fighting Sam and I today. So, yeah.
I mean, you'll be the judge of that, audience.
Go watch our Vegas footage. See if we were fighting during any of that. It's all been released now. Just saying.
Yes. Including my perspective, which obviously was funny because there's a couple of shots I split shot so you could shoot them but didn't quite work. Oh well.
And they weren't in the footage you sent me either. The arrival at the airport footage wasn't there. Neither was the one where we're walking down the hall and you're like, you can splice this footage in. None of that was in the footage you sent me. I'm just saying.
Send so many things. Oy vey. Well, go check it out. It's a lot of stuff.
So now we're fighting because you didn't send me the footage. Damn, this is the best battle in Star Trek history: Commander Cockings versus Captain Foley.
Fire everything! There you go. I Nero'd all over the place. Did you see my Nero? Did it get all over your face? Were you just Nero'd everywhere?
That sounds really disgusting. And yeah, I'm just
hope that didn't blow everything out because my was that too loud? Because I was trying to actually.
I just feel bad for anyone that's in the vicinity. That's all.
My dad's like, what we did today, Stuart? In that rather exuberant intro, and I'm too warm because I was like so exuberant. What are we doing?
Oh, today we were looking at viewers' choice battles. There's been a lot of battles in Star Trek, in the movies, TV shows. We want you guys to suggest some, and we will rank them as we do on a tier list, as for epicness. Now, there's lots of points to consider in these, the scale of the battle and whatnot, but there'll be a good discussion point, and it'll be interesting to see where things fall on a scale, because some might be considered very epic for certain reasons, but compared to others, not so epic. So it'll be interesting to see how this discussion goes.
And this, when I had this idea for battles, as you've seen, Stuart, from the show note pictures, I'm sort of not would say loosely, but the end of a battle is just a fight between ships. Mm-hmm. Because the fact is, I'm going to take very much into account artistic quality of the time. So, like a TOS battle of the original series, where it's just the same shot of the miniature with a blue thing coming out, it might be really cool for the time, might not hold up now. But one of the Star Trek movies where it might only be a 3-shot battle, but the shots are really good, and the fact they achieve that with miniatures, like these things I'm going to take into account. It isn't just the bigger battle the better, or the more ships the better. So I have a it's weird. I've got reaction. I guess I have to justify it a little bit, but it isn't just more CG is better. It could be the simplicity of it. It could be the So does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's what I mean. It's going to be an interesting discussion for epicness and why we might justify some of our choices or decisions. So
yeah, not that I'm pre-stacking the board, but we might argue that Wrath of Khan's better than a DS9 battle when it's only 2 ships firing a couple of shots in a nebula versus 3 dozen ships, 3 dozen shots, and 3 dozen explosions. Right? Because of how, when it was made. So I really want to get into that today. And I really want you guys to throw in some interesting, well, I mean, this obviously viewer submitted, but you guys put in some interesting things. Have us do contrast, and we can, look at any of the shows, including Discovery, of course. Do forgive me a little bit on this, guys. I'm going to have to find reference as we go. So, of course, it's not going to be quite as quick as just Googling a guy's name, because you actually got to find a good shot. So this might take, we've got some lined up, of course. So forgive me if it'll take a second. So buffer some up, but I can get some in, etc.
I think because there's a very limited number that people might know about. I think any super chat amount will do for this one. Honestly,
we encourage 5 or up, obviously, because
we do.
Helps
yes.
Channel.
But understand that not a lot of people they're hesitant to do 5 or up. But I would be interested to see where you guys can dig out some interesting battles. So. Like Dan Band's just threw in 2 pounds with Voyager versus the Vidian. Voyager Season 2 episode resolutions.
Yes, we need specific episodes, of course.
if you know them, that would definitely be helpful.
Hopefully you guys can research, or at least like the when roughly, because we aren't just looking at this round. this episode, right? Etc. Etc.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And again, this same as always. This is a community kind of discussion. Me and Sam, of course, are the loud majority or minority, I guess, in this case. And you guys can, if you don't agree with our decision, you can always bump it up. Now, that is still a $5 super chat to bump it a tier or one tier up or down. But yeah, if you're very passionate about a specific battle and we don't place it, even though we will make arguments for why we're putting it where we are, and contrast is important, but so is also the error it was made, as Sam said. So there's a lot of, but if you don't agree, you can always change it.
And hell, if you were at ILM and you're the guy that did the battle and you really want to justify, we want to hear from you if you do the battle from ILM, All right, so why don't you bring in one of the, I find Dan's, why don't you bring one of the ones in? Well, don't want to do time orders, just pick whatever floats the boat, and we'll start the discussion as I start. So put in a couple of guys and I will start to get these in.
All right, let's see.
Wait, no, I haven't started showing yet. Don't. That's ridiculous, Joe. I've got to tell people we're doing this first.
Go for it.
So we're talking to you. All right, see you in a second.
All right. Yay, he's gone. That tells me that I need to tell you guys to hit like and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the bell notification icon and make sure you get notified with that, so you don't miss any content, live or otherwise. We just today released our Tomy interview because it is still a few days until the end of that campaign. So if you have any questions or concerns about the Tomy Refit Enterprise and want to check out our interview, if you're on the fence about buying it might push you over. So check that out. You don't want to miss that stuff, so make sure you're subscribed and notified. Also, be sure to, like I said, hit like, and there is a join button down there. You can join the channel at any rank, and that helps us out immensely. It's kind of a monthly way to support us, which we really appreciate. Or you can do the same thing over on Patreon, patreon.com/Trekyards, to support us over there as well. And you do get your name in the credits and all that fun stuff, and you get assigned to a ship. Or you get your own ship, depending on what rank you pick. So definitely look at those options. And also don't forget there are links in the description for the Teespring and the TeePublic store, some really cool Trekyards merch, which you guys might be interested in. So check that out as well and help us out in any way you can. We love seeing our shirts out in the wild, as we did see one or two in Vegas. And we really appreciate that. It helps us out quite a bit. So anything you guys do to help out would be greatly appreciated. Captain Kirk, listening to Trekyards is the best way to end a work week. Oh, thank you. Mark Lawrence, taking a pause from the Vegas 6-parter on the Captain's channel. Yes, go check out the Vegas trip. I just released all the videos today. There are 7 parts in total, but each one encapsulates a specific day, except for the commander's perspective, which is the entire trip all in one video, which is a shorter video, so it's fine. But you'll get to see the adventure. And I know Mark has been watching them. I've been seeing his comments. I've kind of been rewatching them back too, to kind of, now that they're edited and I'm not in the editing frame of mind, I can enjoy them a little bit more. So yeah, check them out. They are on the Captain Foley personal channel. Again, link to that is in the description down below. And I'd really appreciate you guys checking it out and commenting on it, because it was a really fun trip. And you'll even see Mark Lawrence. He was a big part of the trip, and we really appreciate everything that Mark does for us. He's a fantastic human being, and looking forward to seeing him again. So anyway, lots to look at and lots to learn about with the trip. So go check out those videos also. But yes, ooh, look, Sam's back. We got to be good now. There are links down below to Teespring and TeePublic. Please click those links and look at the Trekyards merchandise. There you go.
And I always wear the shirts from that company. And this is like years in, and they don't really fade. They do a really good job. Yeah,
they're really great. And they have massive sales too. TeePublic has like 40% off a lot of the time. So even if you don't buy something, you can put it in your cart and wait for a sale. And yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a tried and tested site. So, do.
All right, I'm gonna pull in my first one.
I'll do a poll as well while I do that.
All right. My first one is kind of a smaller battle, because it's not really a battle per se. Are you off the thumbnail so people can see?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yes.
Do your job.
Let's take a poll.
Anyway, Star Trek 3, Krug versus Kirk, but not a fully manned Enterprise or anything. Very, 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 very skeleton crew, and fully automated. So the Enterprise probably didn't have stand a chance because Scotty did not expect to take him into combat. So yeah, it kind of gets massacred a little bit by a little bird of prey. But does it? It's not much of a battle, let's be honest. This isn't including the Grissom attack, which again is just an attack. Could be considered a battle, considering Grissom knew that they were there. But there were no shots fired on Grissom's part. So, but anyway, Star Trek 3 battle is a good way to kick off, I think. I think Star Trek 3 is an underrated movie. I really enjoy Star Trek 3 for multiple reasons. Lots of new ships, which we hadn't seen before, which was fantastic. So, but the battle isn't much of a battle. Like I said, they cloak. There's some subterfuge. The Enterprise gets hit, overloads the systems that Scotty worked on, and they can't even get some phaser shots off as a result. So, unfortunately, the Enterprise is damaged to begin with. Gets a little more damaged after getting hit. Did they get hit on the back of the saucer or the nacelle? Who knows? It's somewhere in there. There's damage. And as a result, has to self-destruct just to kill off most of Krug's men that beam over, because they only have a crew of 12. So it's a very small battle. But is it a battle? Because only shots are fired on one side. It's an attack.
Right. And this is why we want people to throw in interesting things. Anything with weapons fired, like you could include Grissom. It's a silly battle to include because it's a one-sided slaughter, but it's technically a battle. So you can include, if you guys want some of that, we can rank it. But Stuart, put in the poll is a very, very specific way of phrasing this. And I'm really interested to see what people think.
Let's go on the poll. It says, do you prefer the old miniature space battles or the old Trek CG battles or modern fancy battles? And there's your choices. So go vote. We want to get at least 100 votes on that if we can.
And that is pretty broad, but in essence, I'm including anything with a miniature, obviously. Anything sort of Voyager Season 2 onwards, DS9 Season 4 onwards, or Enterprise, that's classic CG, or even, I suppose, Nemesis as well, that's CG, or any
Enterprise.
Including Enterprise, or anything 09 onwards. So that's a really broad brush, that one in particular. But yes, basically just the fanciness of the tech and the cinematography, etc. Yes.
So I'll give my spiel on Star Trek 3 Encounter. What do you think about this one in particular?
Well, this one obviously for us as not, and that's the thing, right? This is also, we're going audience power, hugely impactful for the audience for various reasons. I mean, almost too many reasons to count, right?
The main character died.
Well, yes, well, indeed, but also this
fun.
is the Bird of Prey, which obviously is one of the most iconic ships of all Trek and potential of sci-fi.
First time we see it too.
In a super unusual situation, battle damage ship, that's hyper memorable. Seeing Scotty work his way around firing one thing, which is great. We get to see one of the few times that the ships aren't manable by this few crew. It's not what we meant to do. It's fun to see that. And how it's like in Infinite Darkly, you see the fact that 80 years tech makes every shield in that armada pointless against a TOS phaser. Same thing, a unmanned basically TOS heavy cruiser can still be defeated by a scout ship. If this and this, it's a really interesting thing in that regard. They really only do one shot each, pretty much.
Yeah, one photon torpedo from the Enterprise. Yeah,
and one from the Bird of Prey.
Disruptor blast. The big cannon in front. I guess it's a torpedo of some sort, but it's supposed to be a plasma torpedo because that's clearly a Romulan design. But whatever.
Yeah. No,
Make your arguments.
I mean, it's still knowing the effort that went into this and the great lighting. I mean, you obviously would include the self-destruction of the ship and how that all burned away, because it was all part of the battle tactic was to lose the ship. So I'd give this a really, really solid B, because it hits a lot of emotional beats. It looks great, and it's kind of nice to see the Bird of Prey not zip around like no one's business, because maybe they're not good pilots either.
Yeah,
as in
B's a good call out for this one. B for burning up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, because I do think I'm probably going to have a certain reservation about giving S and A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm glad you agree. But I think it's absolutely is a pride of place B, because it's a really strong thematic battle, which does elevate it in the battleness of battles.
And it's a very, yeah, as you said, it's kind of a strategic kind of battle, sort of. They do the best they can, and Kirk's last resort is to take out most of Krug's crew by destroying his own ship. So there's a lot going on with this one, absolutely.
And also, it's in a time when they have the budget of CG that there is, that every single shot is a mammoth to produce. So everything is so carefully constructed. There isn't any throwaway shots or throwaway moments. Everything's super specific. So that's fun, right? It's nice to see something that intentional. Yeah, good battle.
Yeah. So it might not be much of a battle with only one shot fired each, but the
I stand by it.
The events that are going on around it elevate it to a B, because it was very much a kind of a one-sided fight to begin with. So, anyway, yes. All right, so let's see. Dan Ben, 2 pounds. Voyager versus the Vidians.
Do you have to re-watch it? And it's a gentle little battle. I wonder why you picked it down, because it's one of those things where it actually is CG, because a lot of those early episodes were miniatures. But it's nice they recognise, okay, we can't do that effectively as a miniature battle.
I can honestly say that I would need to rewatch it myself. As with many of these, I'm probably going to have to, rely on Sam's knowledge.
I mean, you've got the episode, Stuart. You can watch it.
I mean, I can.
Well, I can talk about it.
Go for it. See if I can find it. Here we go.
What was the episode again called? It's what, Reservations?
No.
Resolutions, yes.
Resolutions, yeah.
It's when
we have reservations for a battle today. Yes.
It's funny because I wouldn't have thought this was a battle episode. It's the episode where Chakotay and Janeway almost fancy each other on that planet where they get stuck because of bugs.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to go and get Vidian help, but the Vidians aren't the most helpful. So it's not bad. I mean, I'm watching it now. Is this miniature or is this CG? I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, you can't. Oh, I don't know. Although I think the Vidian ships are too small. Given the later episodes the one where there's a split ship and they're giant, they seem too small. Oh, but it's fun. It's fun when there's this transition point of around 37-minute mark when they're trying to do fancy stuff, because this is fancy if you compare it to miniature work, but it's not fancy compared to anything CG work. So it's kind of funny, like the line of like, what's fancy? I mean, they're trying. I think it's only 4 shots. No, that's definitely the CG one, yeah. And they fire torpedo, destroy the. Yeah, it gets a gentle C from me. This is actually not a. Definitely, we're going to count our pennies. We're going to do 4 shots. Let's make 4 cool shots with a lot in them. Yeah.
Let's keep in mind too that the Voyager's outnumbered at this point. There's like at least 3 ships attacking. There are quite a few hits on Voyager. Voyager fights back. It is pretty epic in that regard.
For early Voyager, yeah.
Yeah. I think C's probably fair, honestly.
Now, again, contrast. If we start playing real bangers, then it'll probably go down in the rankings. But yeah.
It might, yeah. That's the problem with this one. There might be some reshuffling in this one.
But for what they could do at the time, I like the shots. Yeah.
Okay, well that's fair. All right.
So it's just a bit of extra motion you can do with CG, but they still limit themselves coming vibe. Because that's what they knew. Cool.
Yeah. Jamie Somerville, £3.50. Thank you. Voyager versus Borg Tactical Cube, Unimatrix 0. Live long and prosper.
Now, I do remember this battle. I actually really like this battle. This is the one where they have the Sphere and Voyager when they try to rescue. which is a really, really bloody unique situation to be in. Anyway, and it slightly puts a mild mockery of, you know, TNG. It's like, one Borg Cube kills a fleet. We're gonna take on a tactical cube and it'll be fine.
With an Intrepid class.
With an Intrepid class. And it's scaled wrong because it should be, well, technically speaking, if that's the only time we see it, that's scaled right, but it should be 4 times as big, etc. Notice it's a fun battle. I believe part 1 has the great flight over where it torpedoes. This is the more varied sequence. But I think it probably includes all that as one battle, which isn't technically...
I would think so, yes.
No, but I really do like that flyover shot where it fires torpedoes. And that's funny because they actually put 2 tactical cubes together to make the shot work because it's not big enough for the shot. And they cheat, and it's the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That shot doesn't work, technically.
Yeah, I mean, pretty epic, honestly, in its idea. This small ship, the Intrepid class, which is not a large ship. It's fast, it's maneuverable, it's powerful enough. But yeah, versus a tactical cube. There is some great visuals. Let's see.
Because this is one of those things where this is a really good contrast actually to what we just looked at, where this is what 4 years different.
Yeah.
And it's so much more flowing. The CG models look really nice. The interactive lighting is much better. It has a flow to it. Yeah, this for me sparks, because I know this is the one-off, right? Fighting this cube. I'm going to say this is a B straight out the gate, a low B, because of how absolutely one-of-a-kind battle this is. And even just to have a sphere in play, let alone in play.
Yeah,
it's really
I was
cool.
thinking low A or a B, so yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We're already off to an interesting start.
Yeah. That's what you guys be curveballing us.
And I apologize for my snoring pug, but you got to deal with it. This is the way. All right.
They do like the sleeping. I reminded in person of this. It is true.
Now, Mark Lawrence.
I love how you're not putting in big episodes like the classic movie ones. I appreciate the nice sidestep ones. It's really cool.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence throws in $10. My favorite battle isn't really a battle, but it's from Conundrum. Specifically when the Enterprise takes out all those unmanned ships. Exactly like how TIE fighters would be destroyed quickly.
Yeah. Very fair.
Conundrum.
There is a shot in the thing. Yeah, it's when Mc something or other takes over the Enterprise and tricks everyone to think.
Oh,
that,
Macduff. Yeah.
And he has them go and attack entirely. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Wow,
yeah.
They're such a powerful armada, and we killed 6 of their ships in 6 ships. Is that it?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Battle Sector 001, where like these little Mars defense drones.
Yeah.
They're just gone.
They must have been referencing that thematically, because that gives you the, oh yeah, I see what they're doing.
It's not a battle per se, but it is
a massacre.
It is a massacre.
Well, unnamed drones, BS.
I gotta say, there's some really great shots of the Enterprise just cutting through them, and I think that's really, really memorable. Kind of sad for the people on board.
No, they're unmanned drones.
They were unmanned drones?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Because that's anyway. Surprised, like, haven't even got like fighters. They just got what is happening, you know, kind of thing.
So, some great visuals.
Is this the only shot though? Because I don't recall. I feel like this is all they needed to sell. Because then they go to the station, which is a reuse of.
Yeah. This is the only one.
But I mean, it's a great shot, and this is the sort of shot that would suck to do because every single little thing takes time. There's a shot from a recent Drone or Dominion episode where they had me bring a Connie warp in, and then an alien race fires like 6 missiles at the ship, and they have to phase it every single one, and they kept saying add more missiles without realizing that every one needs new hand animated phasers and tracking, and each one's explode. Like every single one's like a potentially an hour step per thing. So I know how annoying this thing is versus like the classic like Voyager versus TNG just shot. It's like, okay, I get it. This is them showing off. This is like the trailer shot, right? Can't hear you.
yeah, it's very visually awesome for TNG though. Just love seeing the Enterprise D going in firing. We see more of Galaxy classes doing that later.
Oh god,
but
it's firing so many phases as well. My god, just rewatching the shot again.
yeah, I know. It's like and seeing the phaser rings do their thing.
Have you ever seen them fire that quick? Because that is absurdly quick. But I guess if they're doing like 2% power per shot, they can multi-fire. So in fairness, this sets a precedent that the ship can do this, and I buy it, right?
Yeah,
And that's a really good shot. Yeah.
Mark Lawrence says the first wave was unmanned, and then there was a quote-unquote battleship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a one-shot battle. Oh no, it's a good shot then. For the time, that this is them really trying. I would still only say C though, because it is cool, but it isn't a sequence, and by definition, it's a you know, a mini ship massacre. It's cool, and then you move past it versus the other one, which are a bit more thematically powerful.
It's not so much a battle though. It's kind of a one-sided battle. At least Voyager, that's in C, they were both firing. You want to
go
Voyager
lower,
was, yeah. I want to put it. This is a D.
Okay,
We need contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, visually, it's great. One of the first times seeing the Galaxy class doing something like that, but
and God, Deflect looks beautiful. The blue tits. Yeah.
Blue tits? What?
No, blue. What? Did I say blue tits?
I don't know. Do blue tits
The blue glow of the deflector. That's what I said.
You said blues, maybe blue hits. I don't know, but it sounded like. What did he say, guys? Put it in the comments.
Since you said that, I thought, did I say that? Maybe I did. I couldn't remember.
I think you did. I don't know. Maybe that's where blue milk comes from. I don't know.
Oh no.
Andorians. Yeah, and Orions.
Oh well,
green
okay.
milk. Yeah. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
We live and we learn.
Yep.
Oh god.
All right. Well, interesting. People haven't picked a lot of the bigger main battles for movies and stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But Dan Ben throws in another £2. DS9 The Maquis Part 2 Runabouts versus the Maquis. This is one I would have to go and watch, but I know that they're both super maneuverable and pretty evenly matched, I would assume, the Runabouts and the Maquis ships.
I mean, this is a Peregrine, of course, but that doesn't help.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a Peregrine fighter versus the Maquis Raider, which then becomes a Peregrine fighter after this. Is kind of the precedent setting of like, I'm just going to use my model.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
So I'm not sure where the power level is. But this is definitely I mean, this might sound silly. The way the glows are tells me it's a CG version of the Peregrine. And so you get to a lot of interesting stuff. And you're right, you never see small ship versus small ship. But also, you can just have fun with the shots.
All right,
it's super unusual. Although I'm rewatching it. It's a bit claustrophobic the way we're going from two cockpits, which I know that the Peregrine is just the shuttle pod redressed, because I had to do that for a film myself, so I know exactly what they did here, because we did it as well. Thanks, Adrian, for kit bashing. But it's super unusual though. I mean, you're a big fan of the Maquis subplot. Do you remember this episode? Now you're reskimming. Should be at the 40-minute mark.
Oh yeah, I remember. Just finished rewatching DS9.
Ooh,
so.
that's a good shot. Physics plays a part there though. Season 2. Okay, and for season 2 though. Does this have to be miniature? Because that's really early for them to. Yeah, this must be. Oh damn, they're trying to show off here, aren't they?
Maybe. Yeah.
Huh. What do you think?
Was epic, I guess. If I recall correctly, Cisco lets Cal go because he doesn't want to destroy his friend, and his friend's like, "Oh, this isn't over yet."
Yeah, the shot at 4113, the double torpedoes. That's a really good shot. Like, in terms of flowing motion, oof. Well, I don't quite believe the Peregrine can shoot like 5 forward photons in 1 second from a forward tube. And this is definitely not Peregrine, because that's a much bigger ship. No, this is cool. I'm happy to give us a really high C, because this is some. It's definitely more shots, and they're really like having fun. This is super unusual for Trek, but they don't push it too far. I believe the maneuverability of both ships to be able to do this. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. This is when they were trying to make DS9 more exciting a little bit by having some space battles or something going on.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
What do you think?
Matthew.
Do you think? Oh, you'll put. Okay, great, cool, super.
Matthew DeFreitas, $2. The Way of the Warrior, Cardassian Rescue.
Now, this is a pretty iconic shot to be. Someone they like. I think it's when they tractor beam the. I know this one they wrongly scale it all because you can't practically have these ships in screen together. It's much smaller.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go watch this again.
Honestly, I thought you guys were going to throw us only the famous ones.
I know.
So
is this season 3, Way of the Warrior, or season 4?
4.
Yeah, I think it's the beginning of season 4.
Second half. I remember this is a really good sequence because I love the tension of this. So we've just started this giant anti-Klingon thing, and now but now we're working against them, but with them, but then, or they're vicious. Yeah, it's when we're Klingons are attacking Cardassians, so therefore that's our friends attacking our enemy. But then they're going so vicious that they have to side for the enemy against the friend, and not shoot to kill. They have to kill in the scene. So that's thematically truly like, oh no.
Yeah, this one I think I kind of want to put this at a B.
But I'm looking at some of the shots. I'm not impressed. The cinematography is kind of clunky.
Yeah, you're not from a visual effects standpoint, but it's still an epic battle. For the Defiant to like take out a bird of prey and then fly through the explosion. Yep. There's like some really good visuals in this.
But they're definitely slower. They're not very. They're not. Yeah, it's a very certain sort of effect work, and it's like I say, clunky is definitely the word. But also, you want these shots to linger. You don't want them to be essentially zippy. The fight thing was a very zippy fight. Oh, and should we just give points for Voyager coming to play because that.
Yes. There's a shot with right behind the Defiant, like firing, like.
But again, scale is entirely broken. That is not remotely the right scale.
I want to give this one an A.
Okay. Explain A over B, because I'm open to a B. I'm open to an A, but sell me on.
There's more ships involved, more explosions, more maneuvers than anything in B, and it also is the lead up to the epicness that becomes the battles in DS9. I think this was a taste of what's to come, and they get much better after this. Well, mainly. I think this is a good call out for the first A. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, this is an iconic one for that tractor beam shot, and I was right, that was the shot, which is entirely, like I say, wrong scaled up the wazoo. But the idea of using the tractor beam to stop a... Because Worf's like, do this, and he sabotages his own race, right? He's choosing that to do that. Yeah, I think for pure variety, because do we ever see a Voyager and a Galore ever in a battle together, as in as hero ships versus a fleet shot? I don't think we do.
I would say no.
And then they had to find a bird of prey. Yeah, okay. I'll agree A because of the absolute novelty, and yeah, this is them showing off. And considering this is the lead-in, like you said, to the insane battle, which I believe is this episode right at the end, the massacre. This is not a small battle for them to do for the giant battle they're going to do. Okay, you did it, guys. You did it. You got us an A.
Matthew DeFreitas got us an A. Thank you.
Interesting. I like it.
Oh. Well, let's pull in one of ours. Because we have epic ones here. I'm gonna pull in one that you might not necessarily consider.
Oh, I love it. Good setup.
TOS, the Ultimate Computer, the Enterprise war games against other Federation ships, Connie's specifically. Now, this is better, of course, in remastered, but that's just a given with the TOS stuff, unfortunately. But no, 4 Connies lined up as the enemy, and the Enterprise just basically cutting through them, using the computer as the strategist. Something you wouldn't expect to see necessarily, and I love the heartache on Kirk's face when he realizes that the crews of the ships are dead. But that's what it actually ends up solving the problem, winning the day, as it were, as he convinces the computer that killing is bad. It's bad, okay? And you have to basically destroy yourself because, it's one of Kirk's, make the thing destroy itself. Anyway, I think it's a pretty epic battle. It would have been better to see. I wish somebody would actually do the entire battle. You see little hints of it here and there, and you don't. Well, that wasn't talking to anybody specific.
I felt like a mild hint.
But yeah, 4 Connies versus another Connie, and have that one singular Connie actually. Well, first of all, the other ships they had the phasers set at minimum power. The Enterprise, of course, wasn't minimum shielding and stuff as well because it's war games, right? But yeah, there's like this shot in particular. I just love seeing that. The blue phaser beams. So, yeah. The Captain Dunsel. Yes. Thank you, Ozzy. Captain Dunsel battle. Yeah. Thoughts?
Now, will your score be affected when I point out the impulse engines aren't on, but it's still maneuvering?
No.
Good. I just want to... But cheeky little point out there. Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't visualize at all the remastered. I can visualize the original.
Yeah.
Which season was this?
Ultimate Computer, season 2.
I love the confidence. You're selling me. You're selling me, Stuart.
Right? I believe it's season 2.
I mean, it's a great... yeah, for the time... What a great idea. What a dark idea. And to have that much brutality is like, oh no. Okay, let me have a quick...
Yeah, it's season 2, episode 24.
Let me have a quick gander then. I don't know if I've ever seen this battles remastered.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Because I heard this is the sort of one that if you were being a cheeky fan, as in like, had there been a cheeky fan in the department who's doing the remastered, who'd be like, oh, I'll just work on the weekend for free and just do 5 more shots, right? You could really...
Well, there's some great shots of, like, behind the Enterprise, it's firing, you see another Connie doing this, and the beam following, like...
Yeah.
There's some good stuff. Okay. And I love the confusion on everybody else's face, like, why is Kirk doing this? Because Kirk's not doing it. Like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
You think he's going to turn? I don't know.
Why is Kirk massacring our crews?
I would just assume that the thing was malfunctioning, because guess what? That's what's happening.
Yeah, what part of the episode is this? I'm scrolling, I can't find the space shots.
Hold on.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I got it. So it's actually earlier than you think. Okay, I always find remastered funny, because it's nicer, but they're not quite
36, pushing. 43, there's a good one. There's a bunch of good ones. Anyway, yeah.
They're both using very static shots, TOS, and then moving shots, which don't, in themselves, both edit particularly well together. It's just structurally, right? Like, commit to one vibe, right?
Well, you got it. Okay, it's remastered, so they're trying to pay, they're trying to give TOS its due by kind of redoing the shots, but you got to make it a little more interesting.
But it's like they want to go 1.3 excitement, but I would just commit to 1.8. Just have the same feel for.
Plus, this is the first time we see other Connies in the show, and it's kind of cool to see. Going back to the original, it's like, okay, that's neat. I wish they would have mixed up one of the ships and had, like, instead of for the remastered, instead of a Connie, have a Saladin or something. But
yeah, I feel that was quite a common note, because it would be that easy to swap one, right? It'd be that easy. Yeah. But I'm looking, I'm not impressed. But that's a technical thing, right? I wouldn't say this is a particularly well done battle. Is the novelty enough? I don't know. Where would your vibe have been? Because I'm probably going to say C for this, just because I think it's not particularly a well achieved version of what it could have been.
I was going to say, based on the visuals in both the original and remastered, this is a D.
There you go. Take the
As
D.
cool as it is, I just wish we'd seen more of it. You know?
Okay, that's the logic. Yeah, I can buy that.
Yeah.
And it's funny actually. So in the Avalon universe, the fan film series, they had me. They do an episode where they start the story in the Ultimate Computer, which is where the Excalibur gets damaged. In their timeline, it gets refitted, whatever, and they had me do like 3 shots from the episode, like new shots. And the first shot is this really nice, big, like it's zoomed in kind of, so the ship feels really weighty. As it pans by, it fires really close, and then you see it's a really big shot, and it has a lot of weight to it, but it's still flowing, and it's a really fun, like, welcome to Connie v Connie battle, and then the thing tracks, phases, like you said a second ago, but it has a big weight of battleship, and then it goes, psst, phases for a long time, until it rips through shields, causes explosion, causes the other ship to go wonky. So that was quite a, So I've technically done a bit of this battle as well myself.
But no, I just think because of the lack of visuals, and as cool as this could have been, it was a little bit of a letdown, even in Remastered. Remastered did elevate it, but
okay. Yeah, I
like the concept, and I wish I could put it higher, but I think in contrast-wise, I just can't.
Okay.
Again, it's like the Enterprise D. It's cool seeing it fire its, the phasers at the drones, but
yeah,
could have been better.
Hey, cool for them. Cool does not equate points necessarily.
I mean, it can in some instances,
but not super cool. Okay.
That's why these discussions were going to be fun. When we said that, there's different things we can talk about, which is interesting. So, yeah. All right. So yeah, D it is for that one. Next up, we've got Dan Ben, 2 pounds. Suliban versus Tholians, Enterprise Season 2, Episode Future Tense.
Yes, which is actually a really quite long battle. Now, do you remember the battle where the Suliban? This is when they find the pod, and they're chased at warp by this giant Suliban fleet, and then they meet the Vulcan ship, which is going to help them, and they find a wreck and it's been destroyed by Tholians, and then the Tholians v Suliban at the end, as you can see.
Yeah.
Do you want me to vamp do you want me to talk while you rewatch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a look.
Yeah, this I remember being. So I remember the emotional impact of, damn, they got Tholians, because they came out of absolute nowhere. But it's like, oh, that's really cool, and a really, really good design for a Tholian ship, and inventing more Suliban ships out of whole cloth for this was really cool. And rewatching it as you were doing your spiel for the last one, it's a long sequence with a lot of weapon fire, a lot of ships. And it really does show Enterprise so out of its depth, because everything here give or take, powers the NX, and it's freaking trying, but it can't win this battle. But because it's 2 other factions fighting, they managed to survive, which is amusing. And yeah, this is them really showing off in terms of, because in CG rendering, the more things on screen equal more render time, and they have so many things happening that this is a big thing for them to make. So I think this is a really well achieved battle, actually.
Yeah, multiple Tholian ships firing at the Enterprise. Yeah, this is visually very interesting.
Yeah,
and then
it's kind of also noise, but that's also the point. They're being swarmed by factions. They're in the middle of something.
It's chaotic, right? Which battle often is. So.
And also at warp, anything fighting at warp is always quite a big deal. Well, do they fire phasers at warp? Because you can't do that. Or they just do torpedoes.
Just torpedoes.
No, I like this. This is. I mean, knowing what this took at the time, I'm going to give it higher ranks because this is them really having fun. And there's a lot of shots here. Oh gosh, so many shots. Yeah. Goodness.
I got a history with the Tholians, and I'll tell you what, they like to get their mitts, their grubby little hot mitts, oven mitts, into everything that's weird and timey-wimey and interdimensionally, and goddamn Tholians.
And you can say that you're not even bullshitting.
I know, it's great.
I kind of want to give this a very respectable B, because and I would say high B as well. It hasn't got the emotional stakes of A for me, But ambition-wise, this is properly like just some random episode of Enterprise. But they're like, yeah, let's go balls to the wall on this.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the B. Visually, it's just great, man. I love seeing multiple ships on screen in a battle. So,
and it shows the difference only a few years makes. The Voyager battle, full CG, same company. What, 3 years later? The amount of density. Oh, yeah. Impressive.
All right. What's next? That's from $1985. Can't remember the TNG episode. Well, that doesn't help. But the one where it opens with a dozen Maquis fighters attacking a Cardassian cruiser.
So I would ask you to find the episode, then let us know via normal chat, because we can't be looking for stuff. So we're going to look at the super chat. But if you can go search which one that is, then we can find it. So let us know, guest roll, what episode it is, and we will jump it in, please.
If we had someone behind the scenes doing that stuff for us, it'd make it easier. But unfortunately, it's just us right now. So if you can find it, let us know. We will keep an eye out for it. So let's move on to the next one then, I guess. Mark Lawrence, $5. Favorite losing battle would be the NX-01 nearly being destroyed by a Xindi Prime or damaged. You even see bodies fly out of the hull breaches.
Yes, you do.
Intense. Yes, you absolutely do. That's cool to see in Star Trek. You never really get that. And
you never do.
It definitely makes it, you feel like, yes, the ship gets in a battle, gets damaged. You hear about casualties or injured, but to actually see somebody like is like, oh my God. So yeah, that's very impactful and absolutely a fantastic battle. I do remember this one. I might go back and rewatch it just to brush up on it here, but
and there's actually not. I did obviously for this again. I'm trying.
Which episode? Which season is this?
Where's the Xindi Prime? So it's season 3 near the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this is a very, very good episode by itself. This is Enterprise J. This is Degra stuff. This is I mean, this is really like we were going to lose, and I watched this at the time, and boy was it like, well, we are going the absolute darkest of dark. This is a very impactful episode. This one where our heroes only don't die because someone convinced them to call off the attack. They were going to lose. There was nothing they could have done, and every single hit with no shield is a scorch, is burned through. This was already damaged from the season. This thing is the death knell where it can no longer do half the stuff it used to do, and now we have to limp to the finish line. But luckily we're at the we're nearing that point. But our ability to do anything is basically whatever. And that last shot, where I think Paul's in the captain's chair, the show's getting pelted, and the ceiling collapses because of that damage, and it just lingers on the fire, and it's like, and Archer's been captivated. It's been captured. This was right, like, god damn, you did this back in the day.
I gotta say, the quick cuts, the absolutely focused detail on damage, not only interior but exterior on the ship, the graphicness of it, and also the music ramped this one up for me, because as I've just said earlier today, I don't usually notice music in a lot of scenes in particular, but this one, just watching it now, was like intense. Like it actually, they ramped up that battle vibe for sure. So this is either going to be an A or an S somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to say S because this is not innately a particularly interesting battle in the actual space battle portion, but the amount of power this has, I mean, nothing so far, because even the Enterprise being destroyed is a sort of a subset of the battle. This is actually a, as if this would be similar if the original Enterprise refit was getting continuously hit, and as it was getting hit, it self-destructed like that. And the fact that we actually see bodies, that's not done again. So I kind of want to give this an S. I think this has the emotional hit, and they also trash the sets, which is that. Yeah, I don't think they do that very well. They don't do it often. So yeah, our first S. Enterprise gets it, Stuart. Did not think that was going to happen. Well done, Enterprise. You done
although this was again, this is a different era of television, different way of telling. So it's all based on when the stuff was made. Yes, but absolutely an S tier for that one.
Damn.
Good call out, Mark.
Brilliant, yeah.
Gestro 1980 throws in another super chat to clarify TNG Preemptive Strike, the Maquis battle.
And you didn't have to put a super chat. I was looking for a normal chat because the wonderful audience found the episode for us. So there is now a shot in it. So, but that is what a boss you are.
So we'll go back to Gestrels there. That is it here. What is season
7 episode 24.
7. Okay.
Yeah. This was them sent DS9. Or, well, I mean, it's like 2 from them DS9. This is them literally like at DS9 basically. Oh no, DS9's already happened. This is
DS9's doing its thing.
Yeah, this is escalating the escalation. Well, I'm watching it. It's so odd to see how static the set work is, and then how dynamic the CG is. Of like, we don't normally do this sort of stuff. How do we shoot to edit with it? You just don't. Just shoot them separately, and we'll just do our thing.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just watching it now. Oh yeah, lots of little Maquis ships taking on a galore.
Ooh, some photons as well. I mean, for TNG, this is them really trying. There's not that many shots, but there is quite a few. It's cool, but it still feels hindered. Yeah, hindered by TNG being TNG. But also them really trying to show off.
Yeah, this one, it's also very short and abbreviated. It's not. It's kind of like the end of a battle.
And maybe also because the galore is feels so static, and certainly that first shot, while everything is shooting, none of the ships feel in the same scene to me, because the momentum of them all is very like they're all on motion control rigs. They can kind of go. That's not the zippiness they would be able to do practically.
See, I want to give it a C, but at the same time, it's not a long battle. Like we just see like a little snippet of it.
No, it deserves a C. Some of these shots are for them. This is very difficult to do.
Okay.
No, this is definitely.
For the length, I would think it may be D, but yeah, okay.
No, definitely it's C. This is hard, and they're taking some risks here because also view screen zoom ins. That's pretty rare as well for close ups that you can use for. Often these battles you aim like maybe we can reuse it sometimes. Like no, you can't reuse this stuff, right? Yeah, I haven't seen a battle in a very long time.
Good call, Gestra.
Thanks guys for jumping in and finding the thing.
Yeah. Excuse me. Matthew DeFridas again, $2. Let's do it. Star Trek Picard, Enterprise D, and Giant Borg Cube.
Our first modern one.
Oh, this is the trench run. Sorry, no, it's the Return of the Jedi. Go inside the thing run.
With the maneuverability that the Galaxy can do it.
It's questionable at best, but it's visually exciting. I mean, that's what they're going for.
Well, the fact they're on the D bridge that makes the soul happy, right?
Yes, and also the music that's playing during this one as well. And it's cool to see the big ship doing this, and I enjoyed it as much as it was like.
Huh?
Really?
Huh?
I did enjoy it. I got to give it credit for that. And also, like I said, the music during this is really great. I also love when the Enterprise comes in and slides in to save the day and beam people up.
This one's a weird one because also partially it's the camera work is so untethered to reality that you've never seen Enterprise D starship do that because if the camera was sort of following it, it would feel less dynamic. The ship would, so feel more grounded. So the fact they're just doing whatever without any sort of connective tissue with TNG makes it feel super random and honestly kind of fan filmy, right? But also, it's different because the scale. Really, there's only a couple of shots which are that specific, but this ship is so giant that this ship can fly crazy because it's not going to hit anything because the distance between everything is so big. It's not almost hitting anything, it can zip through
Exactly.
absolutely fine. It's just,
It's a scale thing.
but also battle's a bit of a stretch. It's just flying forwards, up,
I was gonna-
and firing everything, right?
I was waiting for you to finish because the first thing I was going to say is this isn't a battle. This is a strafing run. This is
When no one can miss because you're shooting at a 50-mile thing and they're using 500 cannons to shoot them. I don't think it's lit that well though. It's very modernly lit. It's a very confusing one. I've never loved that Beverly's the one that fires everything. They're like, you can shoot. And it's like, I mean, she also just shot down. I know some people said that. I remember I said that at the time. Like, it's not very impressive. She's just firing. She can't miss, right? She cannot miss anything. And people said, oh, she was disabling certain weapon things, and that's why she was shooting. It's like, well, I mean, I guess.
I mean, you need to play Bridge Crew and be at that weapon station of the D, and you select your targets and you fire and fire.
I'm torn. It feels like a theme park ride.
It does. It feels like Star Trek: The Experience brought to life.
Yeah. Which I've been on. It was very much like this, and it's lit so odd, and the scale so odd. It just makes me miss First Contact and the graceful sweeping. That one, that come in is just glorious. This is hectic. I don't know.
Visually, it's stunning. It's cool to see. It's a ramped up version of what we've seen in TNG, like
Yeah.
times 10. So we got to give him props for that. I think it's probably B worthy.
Yeah, I'd agree low B, because it does many technical things I sort of disagree with, quote unquote disagree with.
Visually, it would be higher than that, but based on all the things that we're looking at, I think B is very safe. Although it's so exciting though, especially when you look at what else is in B. I mean, the last two, but the search for Spock. I wonder if the search for Spock should be moved. Because that we put there because of the situation around it and the disadvantage of the Enterprise having a skeleton crew versus a crew of 12 that's a fully manned ship.
But it's also, that felt like really nicely shot. This is not an impressive thing in terms of CG, because obviously you can make this, right? Like, any of the modern shows could make this sort of shot. Nothing here is actually difficult. Even the polygon count is fine, right? Whereas Subject 3 is well done for the time, and looks real. This doesn't look real to me. Like, it looks theme park. This actually looks worse in terms of realism than 3.
It totally looks theme parky, yeah.
So
but it's also the energy level is ramped up so much in this scene because you're
I'll go
ecstatic that the Enterprise D is there. You're ecstatic that they're on the bridge.
I'll go B for cool, but I'm not going to go higher than B just because it has so many other shortfalls stylistically. That's personal preference, of course, but.
Okay, Donnie says A for him. Well, Donnie, if you want to move it up, if you think it deserves it, we will throw it up to A for a $5. But yeah, this one is a difficult one, honestly, because
I get
I
it.
really enjoy watching the scene, but at the same time, my brain is going, Galaxy class? And I like the Newtonian physics of things where they can, like, in space, you can do things that it's a tough one for me, but B is, I think, a good safe one for now. Just throw it there and let it sit.
It would just be nice if it's done by ILM back in the day. I think it would look nicer, even if it would be less technically wow. I think it would actually be nicer. Yeah.
Ozzy throws in $2 and says the USS Foley. I mean, you haven't seen any Foley battles yet. So
I'm not going to spoil that because that's a spoiler.
No, you are.
Yeah, I'm not going to submit to that level of blackmail.
Gastrel 1980, $5. The Defiant versus Lakota battle.
Which I am grabbing.
Yeah, we'll get that in just a second. In the meantime, go vote on the poll. You have 68 votes if you haven't voted yet. Do you prefer the old miniature space battles or the old, you should say the Golden Age Trek CG battles, or modern fancy battles? Go vote if you haven't. 69 votes now, which is a great number, by the way. But
what?
Let's get up to 80, maybe would be good. I'd like to get 100 votes generally, but 48 of you here, which is fantastic, guys. Hit that like button if you're just joining us, because we only have 46 likes when we could have 48. What?
Yeah.
But anyway, yes.
Now this is again in the category of hyper one-off rare, not just Federation vs Federation, which at this point might have been the first time since Wrath of Khan. Possibly. It's damn rare. And Defiant, anyway, doing space battles, versus not Klingon, and of course a Excelsior refit, the one time in TV. So that's pretty darn rare.
Plus some really cool visuals, like you see the Lakota from the top and the Defiant just going over top, and you're also like stressed because that you don't want either ship to necessarily die. So.
Yeah, how many fights are both ships holding back? Because whatever you say about targeting, you can't truly decide what damage level you're going to cause. So therefore, that's the thing. As soon as Worf orders quantums, what if 10 officers get killed in that explosion? We're going to tell their families, oh, they were following orders and they died for very stupid non-reason. You can't kill officers, right? It's a very interesting. I felt tense watching it. I'm feeling kind of tense rewatching it, right? And the fact that it sets a fun precedent of the fact that you can upgrade an Excelsior refit to actually be toe to toe with Defiant. That's interesting, right?
Yeah. Plus, also knowing that Cisco wasn't there. Like Cisco's on Earth, and. He's stressed. You feel his stress. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this one. Visually, there's some interesting ideas. Like I do love, like I said, that shot of the Lakota from the top with the Defiant over top of it, which is not something you see a lot of, honestly. So I like the choices that are made here. Shit.
Okay, well, I want to point something out. There's only, I think, 4 shots in this battle, but I knew 3 of them off by heart. Because this shot, the reverse firing, and the over top are iconic shots that are just like hyper memorable.
Yeah.
I mean this other one of these are all iconic shots, right? And so, like the Cardassian battle didn't remember, the Maquis battle didn't remember, Vidian didn't remember. I could have actively, without looking at this, remade some of these shots very close myself. Yeah. That's how memorable it is. That should get higher ranking because that's it. Same with Zati Prime, same with some other stuff.
Well, I'm willing for this one to put it at an A, even though nothing really gets destroyed. Like you said, a lot of those shots are visually memorable for sure, and also Starfleet versus Starfleet. How often does that happen?
I want to say a very high B because I think if it had like 2 more shots, I think it's just that other side of they didn't commit to it fully because they can't commit because the more things we see, the less you'll buy that they're toe to toe. So I think they stopped at a point. So I'm going to say a really nice high B for this.
I was going to make a comment that there's not a lot of shots that they're like I would have preferred more. I'm going to say that about a lot of these battles, like the Ultimate Computer would have preferred a lot more shots. Like Azadi Prime, that's where it wins because my God, when you cut back to the interior, shit's blowing up. Things are getting destroyed. People are dying. You cut to the outside. You see holes in the hull. You see people falling out.
Yeah. Hence why the S.
Exactly. A lot of these could probably be elevated with just more shots like that, but
and not even necessarily.
So you want to put this as a B?
Yeah, I think a very high. I just can't give it the A, and you're giving it A because there are more shots than that A battle, but also there's more weight. Galaxy-wide, this has a lot of tremendous other weight, but I think it's just doesn't get A for me. If you want to put it at A, I will back you, but I think it just dips under.
Because mine was a low A, and I kind of I was going to counter my thing by saying that there should be more shots, or longer sequences at least. So,
cool. God, we're doing some real thinking here, aren't we?
God damn it, yes. Thirst Contact, remember, for 52 months at the rank of Commander. Well, thank you very much, Commander. Ah, yes, the Enter Cruise, or the Sierra Prize. Anyway, hashtag not my D.
I like that. And Adrian, what episode was that? 'Cause I can't remember off the top of my head which one that is. I know what the episode is. It's the mirror one, but remind us the title if you can while we get the next one. While I find Dan's next one.
Yeah.
But still read it out so it's said.
Well, Dan throws in two pounds and says the battle from Lower Deck, Season 2, Voyage Douche.
Our first animated.
Refresh myself on, but yes. Anyway, guys, hit that like button. 52 likes is great. I'd like to get to 60, though. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Also, go vote on the poll. You have 71 votes now, so a few more since last time.
Beautiful.
Like I said, 80 would be a good minimum to get to. 40 or 72 now, so there we go. Let's get it up. If you haven't voted on the poll, please go do so. And hit like if you haven't as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So, of course, Voyager Douche, it's the end of the arc with the Packlids, you know, how they're getting weapons, Klingons are helping them. You see their 3 different crews. It's maybe not its best episode anyway, but then they fully come to a full space battle. They don't treat it like a silly cartoon. They do proper shots with a proper bird of prey and a proper Packlid and a proper...
There's another Enterprise coming in?
No. But that's also a great battle.
Yes.
This is Red Alarm on the Packlid, I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna
maybe.
Give this a quick watch, so hold on a second.
Yeah, this is them really trying. And we get, yeah. Although that bird of prey is too zippy. I mean, I guess you could argue it's a lower decks advanced one because of later in the era, but, you know, still. I love that kit bash of the... Yeah, this one, now we're looking at a battle where they have no limitation for shot number. This thing is filled with shots. This thing is... Yeah, this thing is packed. Oh, this is such a good battle. And the amazing warp in of the shielded Vulcan, which I think another show did it in the same year, but they didn't know they were both doing it, so it felt like, oh, everyone's doing that, because they didn't intend to, but the warp in shield deflection trick.
Yeah, I love the zippiness of this one. You just said the bird of prey, but like I like that it's doing that, you know. It's hard skipping through because you don't want to miss any particular scenes.
Let me grab the next put in. Yeah, Gregory. That is another good one.
Okay, this is a pretty good battle. The best episode of Lower Decks by far. Arguably, anyway. I'd be willing to give this one an A for sure.
I think it deserves an A. I think this is a very, very, very well realized battle. It is ambitious, dynamic. The shots aren't cartoony and silly. It's introduced another new ship, the Vulcan, out of nowhere, which is great. Yet the canonness, the Packers doing cool things. Yeah, I think it absolutely deserves an A.
Apologize for my cough.
It was also after a great episode as well in general. Like it's a great additional payoff. I'm trying to find a shot that summarizes the DS9, but that is difficult because there's so many good shots. Yeah, it's gonna have to be that one, isn't it?
Okay, do you want to take a small break? Do you want to pull in one from the side, talk about it, and then do your thing while I'm talking about it?
Yes. Okay, let me bring in one where you guys...
You got to pull in one.
Yes, let me do a... again, I enjoyed throwing in as an unusual one. So yeah, guys, put in some more in, and let's talk about this. We'll throw the update with what you guys are doing. So this is the Insurrection Shuttle V... Well, it's not a shuttle, but it's the Shuttle V scout ship. Of course, Data, command of the scout ship. It attacks the Raffles ship with its pulse thingies. And then, it's sort of the same battle, but not quite, but it's the lead-up, I should say. And the Type 11 comes in. They try and shield harmonics them, and then it's them doing a really ambitious, for the time, showy-offy movie, flowy, and then in-atmosphere shot, with the whole thing being about we can't... no one in this battle can get injured, because they're all heroes, but we actually feel the tension of Data does not give two shits, and he will do the thing he has to do. So there's a really nice, like, almost death moment, which actually does feel quite genuine in this. It's creative, it's imaginative, introduces the brilliant Type 11, the brilliant scout ship, very well choreographed, and it holds up really well. And you see people in the windows, which is cool. With middle, the only space battle with a song in the middle. I really like this one. Your thoughts, my good man?
Well, all those thoughts, of course, but seeing the Type 11 and these sleek designs was really fantastic. The addition of the airlock pod on the top is a nice choice. I don't know if that would necessarily be there if it wasn't for it's an important part of this sequence, because why would you do that necessarily? Because you don't see that on other shuttles. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you're right. Seeing the interiors, this is big budget at its best as far as visuals go, and yes, the tension of don't wanting to hurt Data any more than you have to, if you have to at all. And the in-atmosphere stuff is also very cool. And that last pull-up, but you see the grass, like, is very, 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 I want to say impactful, but it wasn't impactful because it didn't impact. It was very like, ooh, damn.
Thematically impactful, you might say.
It felt very dogfight-like, two jets going at it, and just the idea to get above and kind of try to clamp on, and then have Data start. It's going to stress the point. It's an interesting tactic. Let's put it that way. Unfortunately, the Type 11 with that thing on top was designed specifically for that, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. But that's okay, because we never see that again. Yeah. Battle, though, this is more of a... I did just say dogfight, but it's more of a rescue mission, I guess. And the song. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the song.
I mean, it's still a battle in the abstract, right?
Oh, it is, absolutely.
But it's that interesting sidestep. So what would you... Because again, it really is super unique in terms of, I mean...
Very visually dynamic, too.
And actually, just they succeeded in to make it interesting, too. What does your heart say? What does your gut say?
My heart and my gut both agree. And they say, hey.
Ooh. Ah.
Because it's not a battle in the normal sense of a battle,
yeah,
but it's a battle of wits, let's say.
Well, and also, how do you outsmart Data? That is actually kind of satisfying in its own right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree A, because it's so distinct.
Visually distinct.
Yeah, I think this gets an A. I think I'd still probably low A, because it's the battle is. I don't think our heroes actually ever fire any weapons. Or do they shoot two phasers?
I don't recall, actually.
No, maybe they because they do the shield harmonic trick, of course. That's where they...
Yeah.
No, I want to go a low A, but I think absolutely...
And I think thematically, too, like, this is something you would see in TNG. Thematically wise, you got to save Data, who's on another shuttle, but it would just be two TNG shuttles, and it would be way less dynamic because of the budget and everything else. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is a long sequence as well. This is a big commitment.
Yeah,
this is a good 7 or 8 or 6 or 7 minutes, and people call this movie very episodic. You could not do this on episode budget at the time. Dedicate a 30 runtime to one fly sequence, which is great.
I'm just picturing how TNG would do it, like two TNG Goddard class, or the Goddard, and then tractor beam on top, and like kind of lame ass shots. Let's be honest.
It would probably be the Type 6 and the older one, and it's like flying forwards with each other, and then maybe a slight tilt.
Oh, Data would be in a shuttle pod, or like the Type 15.
Or if you were going late TNG, be a runabout versus a Type 6. And so Type 6 upgraded with new this to make it last if they were doing it late season. Yeah, I think it's a low A. I'm going to give it. I think it's just so interesting. I mean, compared to a lot of this other stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. This is a fun. This
All
is
right.
it's an interesting one, yeah.
Who's next?
But Adrian's is up if you want to throw that in.
You mean Thirst Contact?
Nope.
$5.
No, I mean Adrian's from earlier. The ISFJ 109 Watching Defiant. That one.
I didn't know his real name. He uses name. Not like on here his YouTube name because I don't know who that is.
Modelist yet, Adrian.
I don't know that. So there you go. Thirst Contact, $5. You wouldn't see a Foley battle, but you might hear it. I'm confused. All right. So which is Adrian? Which is
the one above. Watching the Defiant.
Watching the Defiant. Weave in and out of the Megvar. Both ships firing the phasers. Disruptors was something that really could not be done.
And that's the mirror episode where the the Maquis Raider and the Defiant, or the ISS Defiant, they do many pews with the entirely out of scale Negvar. No, other one. The entirely out of scale Negvar, of course, and it's very dynamic, and it's one of those classic like.
Oh yeah.
Makes no sense scale wise, but it does make sense scale wise because it's bigger ship. Okay.
It's like the Great Bird from FASA.
The Great Negvar.
This reminds me again of strafing runs. There's a lot of strafing run type ones in DS9. Even going to like Red Squad, the Valiant, they kind of do the same thing. But yeah, I mean.
And the battle for this episode is in Shattered Mirror, season 4, episode 20. Started at 39.50. If you want to watch it.
4, episode 20.
Yeah, 420. Yeah, I mean the Defiant just zips along, firing, fires everything. No quantums, because there's not quantums, and literally flies around and through and up and around. And Negvar.
What's the timestamp again?
39.50. And it's a crazy sequence. I mean, this is crazy as hell, and it's super dynamic and weird and what?
Gotta love the pulse phasers.
God, it's like
wow, Defiant getting like hit.
Gosh, this must be a CG Defiant because some of these moves are absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah.
I don't feel anything emotionally with it.
You don't feel what? Sorry.
Anything emotional with it? Because it's kind of silly in the way it's played. But this is an impressive, like, for what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
Don't see this before. And then it continues also with the Maquis Raider as well. Oh, it's a Paragon. Oh, it's a Paragon. What do you think? How you vibing?
It's at least an A, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really big for DS9.
It's very dynamic. Lots of movement. Lots of fire. Like it's.
Yeah. And it was funny. That is a miniature Negvar because they didn't have a CG one, so they had to shoot the miniature, and then CG around it loads of other ship stuff to match that. Because if there's a miniature Defiant shots, Jesus, that is so much work. I think you got to give it an A, even if it doesn't resonate emotionally. The wow factor for what it's trying to do is definitely achieved. You have some cool interior stuff. Having Worf be a villain's fun. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it personal love A, but I mean,
visually though, yeah, it's fantastic to watch. It gets you excited. So
yeah.
All right,
Matthew. I mean, you could put it in. It's one-sided battle, but we already had one of those, so.
George Brackett, $2. The Klingon Assault and Way of the Warrior.
Woo.
Kidney, mind blown.
Yep. Nope.
For fuck's sakes.
Yep.
Gotta put them in order.
It's alright. Nope.
For fuck's sakes. Put them in order.
Are they on again?
What the fuck is it?
Oh, they're on again. Hold on. I got the screenshot, it's fine. Don't worry, hold on. Bloop.
I can only do my job if you do yours.
That's so many.
Oh yes! Wow, yes, 100%.
This will be crazy.
This is a S tier. Just because of everything that's going on. Again, super dynamic, lots of motion, lots of ships, lots of phaser fire, lots of explosions. They do reuse one or two shots, but you know, they're doing what they can to make it seem like a bigger battle. So,
I mean, Way of the Warrior kind of is a movie in its own right.
Yeah,
almost.
That's one thing that really bugs me about DS9 as a whole. When the fleet's there, and you see like the fleet shot of the certain ships flying by, and then 2 episodes later, the same fucking ships doing the same thing. It's like, just do a new shot.
Yes, spend $13,000 to.
Yes, please do.
So this is a funny one, and this is where I think Insurrection's a meanness, in that this feels like a movie idea done on a TV budget, because these shots all have a hallmark limitation to them. That if it was a movie budget, they would have they would have something special sauce about it that is not. It makes sense if you're a CG artist, what I'm saying, but it's definitely a impressive TV budget, miniature at the time thing. Obviously, it's super amount of shots, a lot of shots. I imagine because this episode relies on, wow, Klingons, but we already have the sets and the props and the costumes, even the actors, all that stuff standing. So they put the money into the CG, which is where it sings. Of course, it's the first DS9 turret fire, amazing, hyper good reveal. But this episode unfortunately suffers from a giant plot problem of, why does no single Klingon ship have shields? Because a Katinga is destroyed by 2 hits to the gut. It can't happen.
I think they're implying the power of the phasers from the station. But yeah, you're right.
Because literally, it's a great shot. It fires through it. It's like, that's not how torpedoes work. That's not how shields work. Like, they had to ignore that to let it work, because they couldn't add those other layers and the tension. So there's because really it'd be a way different battle where shield bubbles pumping off everyone, blah, 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 be a visual noise fest. So there is a huge issue with that, but
it's the Klingon origami fleet, and they're made with tissue paper. It's fine.
Yeah. So that but I'm not gonna hold it against it. That's just a pure, like, we had to sacrifice something. Same thing as the later DS9 battles. No ships have registries because they couldn't be effed by doing registries or interactive lighting, or like they just couldn't render that in. It was too much. So that's. But yes, Stuart, I do agree with S. I mean, this was unseen. This was unheard of. This was so big. This was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Moving on. JW, 2 pounds. Possible F. Rascals battle. 2 barrels. Bird of Prey versus the D. I mean, again, this could have been way more epic had they added more shots and more maneuvers going on, but it's fine.
I didn't remember there being a battle in Rascals, I'll be honest.
I didn't either.
Yep. Testament to it's whatever. And I'm rewatching the scene right now, and by scene it might just be the shot.
It is.
And
it's an F.
And clearly it's a reuse of Redemption, where the birds of prey, and in fact the second shot is just reuse of Yesterday's Enterprise. So it's not even a battle; it's a reuse. Which, I mean, good for them, right? They got a battle for $0, but also bad for them. They got a battle for $0. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, JW. That's our first F battle.
Because it's all stock shots. Oh, I'm still watching shot. I'm holding out hope there's a new shot. I'm holding out hope, but there might not be a single new shot.
Han Pritchard says Red Squad was a recipe for disaster. Yes, like wet noodles. It was a pasta recipe. Because remember when they're going to launch the thing into the battle cruiser, it was going to turn the struts to the consistency of wet pasta.
Oh yeah.
I had to make the joke. Sorry.
That dreadnought say, or battleship say no.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this an F, Stuart. I'm gonna. I know we moved past it. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good.
Static Beer Chakotay, $5. Message in a bottle with the Prometheus doing multi-vector assault mode and 2 holograms saving the day. That's a great. See, how many did? Nobody's even mentioned the ones that we put aside. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've pulled a few in ourselves.
I spent like 25, 30 minutes just getting those, bullshitting with some technical issues for another 25 minutes. Not a single big.
Like, you're missing some of the big ones, guys.
But that's kind of great, though. I give you all credit.
That's why we like Viewer's Choice.
Exactly. Yep.
Because you make us talk about things we might not necessarily have thought of.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, message in a bottle. Yes, this is great. A multi-vector assault mode, having a ship split into 3. Again, and seeing Romulans and other Federation ships in Voyager, nice treat, because Delta Quadrant, you don't see the familiar races, you don't see Federation. And yeah, another Defiant here, a Kira class as well. There's a lot to like here. I know where I want to place it. And I know that the Prometheus is one of Sam's favorite ships. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say about this. But to have the ship separate and like attack the wrong ship, attack Federation ship is freaking hilarious. Yeah, there's a lot to like in this one.
Yeah, this is I mean, the whole episode is obviously great. It's trying to do different things, and you are so right. The pure novelty of seeing this in Voyager is just crazy, and also. DS9 obviously had visual effects work, CG of the Derodexes, but they were never the hero, really, except twice, I believe, once or twice. So to have them be fully CG, they can move around them in this episode is great to be the villains, which I haven't really been the villains for a little bit anyway. Seeing Akira thrown in as a hero again, special. The only other time that Defiants pop in as side ships, 2 Defiants throw in, no issue, etc. Obviously, the multi-vector is really cool. Definitely Pansy, though, the Deredex get killed with 3 phase blasts, but that's neither here nor there. And there's depth, if you recall. There's a great, obviously, to be a tracking shot where there's ships flying, and they're trying to cram the 4x3 with as much stuff as possible. It's great, and it's fun. They're obviously having fun here. Could have some quantums being fired, but that's, I like a good quantum. And obviously the interior stuff is super fun. And I believe there's also a shot where the Defiants fire on Prometheus, and there's, I believe it's just pulse fire hitting Prometheus. It's not necessarily the but yeah, just that first shot where, like, with more killing ships, who is it? It's Starfleet! And they're firing at us! And it cuts to this fleet of ostensibly the most powerful ships in the entire Armada, and Akira and 2 Defiants firing at us. It's like, oh god! Everyone hates us! But it is a bit short.
Yes, that's the length was kind of a thing, right?
But every shot's cool.
Every shot's really cool. It is great to see like another Defiant class come in, so there's a lot to like here, as I said.
It's also because
it's unique.
It takes the fact that Prometheus is the end game, pun intended, of the fleet's power level, that as soon as it does its thing, it wins, end of scene. That's the thing. I would say a mid to high B, because I think it doesn't realize the potential of what it's trying to do, even if it's all cool.
Mid to high B? Seriously?
Okay, why am I wrong? Talk to me, Goose.
For me, it's an S because of its uniqueness. It's basically like a first contact fleet vibe going on in an episode of Voyager, for Christ's sakes. If you had asked somebody, where's one of the best shots of the Deredexes getting destroyed, you would never expect the response Voyager. So not only do you get to see multi-vector assault mode for the first time and the Prometheus class, yeah, you get to see another Defiant outside of Deep Space Nine. You get to see Akira come back from First Contact. For its unique feel and vibe, as much as it's a short run, I think this one stands out as something really cool. It's a fleet activity. It's a fleet action. It's not just 2 ships going at it.
That's true.
Or a huge huge DS9 type battle. It's smaller, but it's got a first contact vibe to it that I think elevates it to something unique. Plus, the Prometheus and multi-vector assault mode on top of it all.
So I always feel bad that people are going to judge me for saying this episode is great. I always feel like I have to undersell it because I like it so much. So I'm going to rewatch this right now to see if I agree. Because I was doing on memory only. Let me rewatch it.
Yeah, I need to kind of watch it too. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you guys to hit the like button. We have 63 likes, which is great. 54 of you here. I'd like to get to 70 likes. We're also at 90 votes on our poll, so we hit our 80. Can we get 10 more, though? 10 more? 100 is a great sample for a vote, or for a poll, so please do that.
It is very ballsy of an Akira to Defiance to say, we're just gonna start a fight with 3 Pterodexes, the biggest, best warships of the Romulan fleet. We're just going to start this fight.
But, I mean, they're both built to be tougher little ships, right?
Yeah, but Deredex is being 5 times as big as a Enterprise D, and Defiant being 5 times smaller, whatever. I mean, bravery, but I guess you can't let Prometheus fall into their hands because, it has all the best stuff.
But you could make the Top Gun Maverick argument. The Akira and the Defiant and the Prometheus, they're all 5th-gen fighters against the older Deredex.
No, well, exactly. That's why it mostly works. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can we go down to an A just for...
No, because of all the uniqueness with it. Come on, there's so many things in this that are unique and a one-off that you never see again.
And the interiors are funny. I just rewatched. I remember Picard saying, they're right!
And the Prometheus being unmanned.
Hey, shows how far autopilot's gone.
Right?
Because they autopilot. Majel Barrett killed those Romulans. Majel Barrett, goddammit.
Yeah, pre-programmed attack patterns work wonders. So, come on, there's a lot of uniqueness in this one that just has it.
Okay, hey, do it. Yeah. My compliments to your Prometheus love.
I don't give a shit about the Prometheus. I'm just saying, this battle is something special in the world of Trek.
It is. Yeah, it is very, very unique. And certainly, if we're giving unique points for Excelsior Refit versus Defiant, this is obviously that times like 3 or 4 levels.
It kind of has a cinematic vibe to it. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, something you wouldn't expect to see in Voyager. So
do it then. Cool. I will take the win. I'll take the personal win.
Just remember this when I
want
my things, and you're like, no.
This is when you all disagree and then put it down to an F.
I mean, if anybody wants to move it down because they don't agree with me, by all means, feel free. $5 super chat will do that. But tell me I'm wrong. I dare you.
Okay, guys, you have been dared.
Anyhow, let's move on. Because we are in the last half hour now, so and there's still lots we haven't covered. This one is going to have to be continued, unfortunately. I have a feeling. So at some point we're going to call it, or it's the last one.
Yeah.
But
although we can add them to the slate, so do feel free to add until the last minute. We'll add them to the slate. They'll be there for next week or next time. That is acceptable.
JW throws in £2. Arsenal of Freedom, Enterprise versus Cloaked Weapon. All right, no, this is.
See,
great.
We would never have said this if we had this by ourselves. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the viewer's choice is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fighting a cloaked ship, I love Geordi's tactic as well as also using just the Cobra head, just the battle section, which is fantastic. Great idea. They were going to do this more. You can tell this is early TNG because they're like, yeah, we're going to use that saucer separation thing from time to time. Not really, but anyway. Cloaked ship, good strategy. Go into the lower atmosphere, get some, resistance on it, and atmospheric resistance. Get to see it fire. I think it's great, actually. It's more strategy. It's not really. Let's say it's not really battle. The Enterprise is getting hit. Shows the strategic mind, which I like. And a lot of these battles are smaller battles that do show that for sure. Stuff like Balance of Terror and stuff like that. More like submarine style warfare where it's out strategize the other ship. It's not big bombastic
Wait, at
fleet battles.
strategize or at stratagem then? Strategy. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Visually unique as well in the world of Star Trek to see the ship go into the atmosphere like that, and so you got to give them a lot of credit for this one. Yeah. I think I know where it belongs, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
And also, I have a question for everyone since we've got 57 of you here. We've got a live booked in for tomorrow. Would you like us to continue this tomorrow? Because this has been such an interesting debate. If we're kind of all thinking, would you like us to finish that or continue this tomorrow or do a different topic? Let us know in the chat right now. Tomorrow or soonish, but not tomorrow. Let us know. Because there's loads left we've not covered, of course. And you guys are throwing tremendously interesting ones in. So let us know. Right now. Tomorrow or other. Yeah, this one's... I mean, I love what you said. I mean, this is season 1. That's crazy by itself. Are there space battles in season 1? Not really. And this is a source-separated version. They had to physically disconnect the model from itself to do this shot. So they really didn't ever do, except in absolute safe situation.
But trust us, we're going to do it all the time because we got to protect the families. This is going to happen quite often.
And it's not even like the cheat where they just, photoshopped out the saucer. It's like, no, they actually made these shots with this in mind. It's still very miniature-y, but I mean, this is... You imagine reading this in a script, right? In 1989. Right, we're going to have the bottom half of the ship in atmosphere burning up for a cloaked thing, which you can see because the audience can see it, but not. It's like, what? It's a crazy... And it's well achieved. I mean, it's very miniature-y, but I mean, I remember when we reviewed this, we were really surprised how cool this was. I remember really being taken back how cool this was. And Geordie being Mr. in charge, yeah. What are you vibing? It's only 3 shots though. That's my.
I know.
I'm gonna count how many while you give your verdict. I'm gonna count how many.
I was gonna say for the uniqueness again of something you don't see every day, the separated ship as well as the ship going into atmosphere. A B, but at the same time, because of the lack of shots, I think a C is very, very good for this one. It is a unique take, and I do appreciate that they did that, but I don't know if I can get behind anything higher than it was.
It is only 3 shots, and one is clearly the same thing of just...
There's a lot of talking about doing it. Seeing it is just...
But the payoff shot is great.
Yes.
So that it's worth the price of admission. Yeah, it's got to be a C though. It's cool, but it could be incredible. And also just the idea of this probe being Enterprise D-ish sized is
I never got that sense. I always thought it was way smaller and it's just closer to the camera.
Yeah. I got the sense it was like half the height of this part of it. Like it was that level of up. Which is still not giant, but I mean it is giant compared to one on the planet. Yeah, I would say a respectable C. That'd be me.
Okay. No, I think we're on the same page with that one.
It is cool though.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Ryan K. Defiant could fly through the warbird. Yes. If you ignore shields, which you sometimes do. I'll be fair. There is a shot in a film that I've done where I finally watch a ship fly through the Deredex, and it is fantastic. I'm really proud of it because it's just cool. It's one of the few times that I do smaller scale, and it's like, oh, cool, we're going through it. It's a great shot.
All right, next up we've got Andrew, and what's his name? Anthony, your modeler. ISFJ 1009, $2. How about Voyager fighting Vaudois fighters?
Mm-hmm. It's a good sequence.
Is it here?
Yes.
Is it this one?
Top one, yeah. Yeah, it's when it takes off. And this is Voyager, and this is the inside atmosphere. Now, for those who don't know in CG, This is a Dragon something, is that what it's called? Yeah, Dragon's Teeth, season 6, episode 7. If you want to go watch it. So in CG, the amount of your scene being taken up is directly related to how much render time it is. So in space, you can render it as a lot of it is black, without stars are kind of a thing in terms of they are an object in the scene, but they're not also taking up the entire scene. So space is actually quite a nice cheated rendering. This sequence is the Voyager flying through a destroyed city with a beautiful camera, simple but elegant camera motions, firing everything while being shot at, while exploding things. In 1996, whatever, and it looks great now. I'm watching it, and I would be happy if I made this for a fan film. HD, fine, but like I would be proud of this sequence. And having landed, this is a really cool sequence. This is them really showing off. I know that the chap that made the city was very pleased with himself. This is a big thing to do. It's not that many shots, but they're really impressive technical shots for the time.
There's a lot of talkie.
Yes.
Who needs talking in Star Trek? Just give me space back.
The fact they're firing every phase from every place is great.
Yeah, this is great. Lots of phaser fire going on. Again, it's got the uniqueness factor of being in the atmosphere in a city. Oh my goodness.
But it might only be 4 shots, but they're damn are they shots. Like, again, effort-wise. Oof.
Okay.
More shots, or is that it?
I think it's B-worthy at least.
Oh, there is a bit more when they go into orbit and the other fleet come in and they bomb. I mean, it's kind of a battle still. I mean, and that's a pretty big fleet of many pews. Although that is not. that's a. God damn it, reuse. That's a bloody a Voth cruiser ship. You liars. It's not a Vadois ship fighter
B.
thing. Yeah. Oh no, solid B. Yeah. This is yeah. Yeah. This would have been like render farm burning shots at the time for TV budget.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this is very much the scale of the Picard season 3 battle, but for the time in terms of the amount to render for the time. It's very comparable actually.
All right. Thirst Contact, $2. Hallmark limitation. Sam, you're off the effing chain.
Yes.
That's for the DS9 Klingon ships. Yes.
It's funny.
JW, £2. The Wounded, Enterprise versus Cardassian Galore. Yes, The Wounded in general. I mean, even the battles we don't see. Like,
especially ones we don't see.
Yeah, the Nebula taking out the Cardassian ships. Like, you can see the little tactical display. I mean, cool. Not super dynamic, this battle, if I recall correctly. But, I mean, getting to see a Galore class, I think this is the first time we saw Galore in Trek.
No, I think it's the second.
Is it?
Maybe?
I think this is the first. I think this, because this is where we got Mark Alamo as a Cardassian.
Okay, I thought there was one before this, but...
Gul Dukat's cousin or brother. Oh, fuck's sakes. Which season is this? Do you know? I don't know.
Yeah, hold on.
I want to go check out that scene real quick.
It is season 4, episode 12, and it's right at the start. But I'm pretty sure I already know where I am, so it'll be interesting to see where you fall under. It's right at the start. It's basically
it's not right at the start.
Well, it's part of the cold open, I believe.
Yeah, but the cold open is how many minutes long?
Well,
no, it's not part of the cold open. He talks to Gul Dukat. It's not.
No, it's before that.
Golden, not.
He made it funny. Good job.
Is it?
Do you know
casually talking on the bridge.
Do you know I have a hard time finding it, Stuart?
Why?
It's not a battle, it's a shot. That's the shot. That's it. That's the battle. Then they talk rest of the episode, and then we see the Miranda, the Nebula do stuff. That's it.
It's a D.
I want to give it an F because it is just this shot, and this shot is not an interesting shot, and it's a reason.
I meant F. Yes.
Yeah, this is. I know you're being funny. It's just why it's funny, but yeah, this is an F. Sorry, but I think it's intentional. It's a nice shot, but it's not anything special. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a good episode. Now, if it had been the implied battles from the other ship, great. But it's not.
Michael Waldron, $2. Star Trek 6 End Battle, Chang versus Enterprise and Excelsior. Oh, is that one of our pre-selected?
Yes!
Holy shit, it's about time. See, we got these. This is an example of one of the ones we had tucked away.
Yes.
Because we knew somebody would bring them up, but nobody did, apparently.
Just took an hour and 45 minutes.
There we go. Yeah, and we just watched this in 3D.
Yeah.
You and I.
Yeah. That's great.
Is this the first example of that Klingon bird of prey destruction?
Yes.
The first use of it? Okay, good. Then it's unique. Yeah. Cloaked bird of prey firing. The Enterprise takes a few hits. Again, why doesn't it have shields? You get a glancing blow off the saucer, which is a shield hit, I guess. You get one that goes straight through, right through the saucer. And then the Excelsior shows up. Let's give him something else to shoot at. And the helm officer's like, yes, sir. Let's die. Sweet. Some great shots, by the way, especially on the view screen of Chang's ship where the Enterprise like cruises by the side. Very strangely lit, though. It was exciting. This was an exciting, and then the fire, and then seeing the bird of prey just get pummeled by torpedoes. Target that explosion and fire. There's some great lines in this. There's some great captains being captainy. Yeah, this is great. Could it have been better? Yep. But I mean, it was so good that they reused this Klingon bird of prey explosion like 15 times over the course of all the other shows. So gotta give them credit for that. I liked it.
Yeah, this is an example of every single shot is carefully designed and crafted. And there's not that many, but every single one is memorable. And they're not even very intricate, because the fact is the bird of prey is bloody staying still. The Excelsior just kind of moves forward and then shoots, and the refit moves forward, then reverses, then turns to the side, and then back to shoot. It's not like it's an interesting battle, but it's also kind of realistic in that sense. Like, you're not going to fly a full impulse left, well, you know, that way, and then not be like, you're going to stay in this area because you have to be because of where the bird of prey is, but you can't shoot anything. So it's like, what do you do, right? It's very grounded. I do agree slightly with the fact that, yeah, the torpedoes are too effective, but also you could argue that potentially they're finding particular shield vectors and like trying to... There's presumably more shots than we're seeing being fired and hit, whatever, right? And if Chang's picking, like, left shield 6, if you keep shooting that, we'll nail the shields and get an impact. Yeah, fine. And also, look how good that torpedo looks, the way that the inner glow, and really iconic way.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I picked the shot because this is my favourite shot. Because this is effort, right? Yeah, this is iconic for a reason. Could it have been cooler? Yes. But actually, I think if everyone moved more, as in a CG version, you'd almost lose that craftedness, because you just have people zipping.
I gotta say, the approach to Kittimer, this is one of my things. Reduced to quarter impulse power, and the Enterprise goes by still fucking super fast because quarter impulse is still quick. I love that scene. It's not a battle scene, but it's leading to the battle.
No, that's part of it, yeah, for sure. I love, Michael says, this battle makes fairly static ship combat very exciting. 100%. And you're right, like, Sulu's line, fire, you know, all the fires are pitch perfectly something in this.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm definitely an A.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
That's what else is an S? Because this is still not the biggest battle. I'm close. We've got Xindi Prime, which is a much bigger battle and more emotionally grabbing. The DS9 is a way bigger battle, and you Prometheus up.
I think A is fair.
I think, yeah. Yeah, I
mean, as far as T and TOS battles go, this is definitely S tier.
Yeah.
But compared to other stuff, I think A is very fair for this one.
Yeah.
And there might be one battle that's TOS that might be above this, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
it's a really important movie. It's the second one that I don't know might be. Nobody said it. Just fucking.
Does it exist? We don't know, right? I mean, I don't know. Right? Yeah, I feel like this battle, right? It can see the ceiling, and it's just like reaching for it, but it can't quite get the ceiling of A. It's like, oh, just so close.
Well, that's the thing. When you watch Star Trek 6, you notice a lot of budget issues, reuse of sets, things like that.
Yes, you do.
It hurts that movie, unfortunately, a little bit, even though that movie's great. The battle, I think, again, could have been better. There were some weird choices with lighting in the some of the shots externally.
Very bright Enterprise. That one shot is weird, yeah.
There's a few that was kind of bright. Like, even when the torpedo, like, skims across the saucer, that's kind of an oddly lit Enterprise. And then also when the torpedo's going up to go through the saucer and you see the lights on the bottom of the, like, planetary sensor dome, they look really weird. I don't know. There's something about them that feels off. So there's odd things in that movie. I think A is very fair. As much as this is a great battle, I think A is where it's going to be. If you want to move it, you can. That's you guys.
Well, it symbolizes the fact that if it was bigger, it would be better.
Everything would be better if it was bigger. Battle-wise.
Okay. Yeah.
Just more shots, not necessarily bigger in scope.
Well, exactly, yeah. And also, yeah, it would have been nice because also it works great for the movie, but as a Trek fan, understanding the kind of like Generations sort of did, in that how does through shields affect a fight and how much damage it causes? You feel that in Generations, certainly. In this battle, the idea of not being like, because surely you would detect the exit point of torpedo for a bird of prey. You could narrow it down by just, if they're not moving, you narrow it down, right? So to have the disconnect, or to see the connective tissue of how is Chang maneuvering to not be found, to not be shot at, and getting unique hits on other ships moving, that's the tissue that's missing from this battle that could make it more interesting. Him strategizing, because currently in the battle, he's just like, right, stay still, keep firing. Fire again, fire again, fire again, fire again, fire again, we win. It's like, well, okay. Fish in a barrel, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it here. Dave, or Area 51,
yes.
You're the last super chat for today, which is an epic one. We have one more before that, though.
And I tease you, we have a few minutes left. Throw in 2 new battles we haven't thought of for next time.
Which will make sure you have to tune in next time. Which
exactly.
I don't think we'll do this again tomorrow. I want to do something different tomorrow.
Okay.
But I've really loved the vibe of this. Why? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh. It's okay.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Continue, straight.
Anyway. All right, so Area 51 is the last one. But anyway, JW, 2 pounds. Descent, Enterprise versus Allures Type 3. Yes, well, okay, this is Beverly in charge. Beverly in command.
No, it isn't. Believe me, I was skimming the shit out of these episodes. So there is no battle except this one shot in part 1. Once again.
I think by battle they mean getting destroyed in the sun.
Because that's just Enterprise D running to the sun and the ship chasing them and then getting blown up.
So this is the one shot.
This is them attacking and then taking captives.
Even with the sun thing, like, that's a unique take on things.
Okay, clarify. Do you mean the battle or the battle? But continue.
I think he means the whole thing.
Okay.
But anyway, even with all that, this is a dumb fucking episode. That is the best part of it. The conclusion to the ship, like the way that Beverly decides to take it out, is quite interesting.
And just Beverly and that sub crew are great.
Yeah, the crew. Yeah. This is a C for me.
Well,
Including the sun. This destruction. I'm just saying.
because I skimmed this and I was like, "This is a battle." Because I don't remember a battle being in this episode.
Battle.
Yeah. Hold on.
JW, let us know if you mean the destruction of the ship at the end.
Because I got two shots, because they are different episodes as well.
Well, part 1 and 2. You shut up, you.
And they're released a year apart as well. I mean, it's you know.
Wow! Oh my God! Seriously? I can hit him for you guys.
Well, it's like the best of both worlds, right? The battle is clearly in part 2. You wouldn't say episode 1 a great battle, or it's like part 2, different story.
It's at most a C.
Oh yeah, at most.
I love the strategy. I love the crew and them working together to figure it out. But C.
Yeah, JW, if you're here, please clarify. Because I would give the joke I was making, the original one shot an F, because of course it's one shot.
Yes, that would get an F for sure.
Yeah. So if you want to put them in separate categories, and we can see JD clarify which one, so that should be an F to me. And yeah, give the sun a C, because yeah, you're right, strategy's cool, but I wasn't even thinking that as the battle. And then we'll delete whichever one you don't mean.
I instantly thought that part, so.
Because no one fires anything.
I mean, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong once in a while.
It is. No, it is. Yeah. I can be right about being wrong, it's fine.
But yeah, we will subdivide those.
Yeah.
And
please clarify. Because yeah, it's. But I think Beverly's what wins it, and the fact that they're. I mean, I believe the lighting. How the hell do you light next to a sun? It's just light it orange and bright. So that worked for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Area 51 cleared up of something that, grave injustice. The Battle of the Mutara Nebula from Wrath of Khan. I think it was a popular one. That's the very first one on our freaking list over here. God damn, guys. Think weirdly, but we love it.
It's so old that it supersedes the other ones in terms of, yeah.
All right, so Wrath of Khan, Battle of the Mutara Nebula.
Because technically there are two battles. There's the initial skirmish, which is very one-sided, and this one, which is a battle.
Again, this is the first time we saw a battle in Star Trek, really, against, well, definitely two Federation ships. Well, no, Ultimate Computer. But...
two different ships.
Yes. Yes. A lot of strategy going on here. Very submarine-like warfare, because Nicholas Meyer, that's what he wanted. And it's more military, just with the uniforms and everything. So it's very much a one-ping kind of moment of... where are they? We can't see them. Using the nebula is a great way to do that. Take away all the advantages the starships have, sensors and all that. I think it's fantastic. It's mind versus mind. It's Kirk versus an augmented superhuman, but who's also not as familiar with the ships. So it's kind of... and at this point, when this was first released, the Reliant was supposed to be more powerful than the Enterprise. It was like a battle cruiser as opposed to just a science vessel, which it became when it became the Miranda class, because it was the Avenger class originally. Regardless, yeah, this is death by a thousand cuts kind of battle, and firing blind. You think they're behind you. You fire torpedoes, you miss. Just passing over each other, searching for each other, doing a grid pattern to search. Again, Khan thinks more two-dimensionally, so he doesn't. So I love the tactics and the strategies that are going on here. Also, this is the first time we get the pulse phasers, which seem pretty impactful and punchy in this. I love that the Enterprise is damaged. I love that it goes in at a disadvantage, because Khan basically sideswipes them, essentially.
Sorry, who?
Khan. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh. JW, I was right. Part 1, the battle.
Well, then it's an F.
Good job. So get the other one out there to leave space for other seas. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you to watch that.
I was wrong, and I'll admit that I was wrong, because Sam would never admit that he was wrong, even though I told him he was wrong. But I am clearly wrong. So, all right. So yes.
When we go, someone puts in a 5 for that now. It's like, God damn it. Yes.
Wrath of Khan. No more super chats today. So yeah, Wrath of Khan is a great one. It is the kind of the OG as far as when I think of battles in Star Trek. It's one of the first ones I think of, obviously, and it actually showed a human toll as well. Yes. In Ultimate Computer, we do hear, oh, the crew's dead, but to see Scotty's nephew, his body, it kind of brings that grim reality to life.
Wasn't that the first battle?
I
think that was the first one. I think we're past that in this part of the movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first strike.
I believe so. Yeah, because they hit engineering. Yes, yeah.
But no, I love the fact this is generally this film had the first true space battle in Star Trek history, because everything else was kind of what we could get away with. This is actually battles, actually things happening, with the weight of battleships and also submarine combat. They do both at the same time. They do strafing in the first battle, submarine in the second battle, using depth. Now, and this is. I mean, is there any other battle in Trek where both ships are neutered? And therefore is entirely strategy, entirely any hit can be catastrophic. Is there any other battle like that?
The closest is TNG, where the Enterprise goes into a nebula to hide from the Borg.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too. But I think any other time you would do this battle, people say, oh, it's doing Wrath of Khan again. So almost can't do it again because it's so specific. But yeah, the tension's great. As I was saying, without sensors, the fact that you can have ships in space terms on arm's reach from each other and not do anything actually adds fun tension. The fact that, yeah, Kirk has got a ship that's so brutalized that it should outmatch crew and tech-wise. A crew doesn't know jack shit about their ship, but they've got a working ship, etc. Yeah, this is great. It's not a battle so much as a I mean, it is a battle, but it's not a battle so much as a submarine finders and then sort of massacre and how few shots it takes. But also it's very satisfying. So it's kind of it's a play, it's a strategy, it's a flow leading to a we win, and then I run away because blowy uppy. But there's lots of shots.
One could say that the Enterprise would come out victorious if it wasn't. Well, I mean, they did, but I mean, way quicker if they weren't in the nebula. They have a full crew. Well, it's training crew, but still, full crew, as opposed to Miranda, which only has Khan's men on board. They don't know the ship. Crew. They don't know the ship. I think Kirk and the Enterprise would have definitely come out victorious much quicker. But I love that they kind of evened the odds with this and gave everybody a disadvantage.
Yeah,
so
Khan cheat in the first one, and then they.
Yeah.
So I'm so torn. It's beautiful, but as it's compared to the S's, the battliness, but it's not trying to be a pew pew. But also the fact they built an entire close-up piece just to destroy the impulse. No, but the bridge blew up. Almost.
And Ryan K's like, nobody brought it up before now. No, there's so many other ones on the side that are so obvious, which we figured you'd bring up, and we had them ready to go. Anyway,
we are at the whim. Does it get S for pure legacy, or does it just dip below?
No, I was going to say, for the conditions they're in, the strategy that's employed, the legacy value, I think this deserves an automatic S. Just for its iconicness.
And it is different. Okay, we'll go S, because it is still. It's not. This is not being limited by, because they put a lot of money in the space shots. Clearly, they save money on something. They put money into space shots. It's not as impressive as the DS9 battle, but it is in other ways.
It is in other ways. Yes.
Yeah. Go for the S.
Okay. So we didn't put this in S, there would be a riot. So.
That's why. Yeah. I'm trying to.
But I can definitely justify an S in multiple ways.
Just justify it.
Justify.
He's been on the wrong nail.
Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. We have 70 likes, which is the goal I wanted. We've got 100 votes, which is the goal I wanted.
Oh, we do.
So we will end the poll.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is perfect. 100 votes is a great way to do it. Do you prefer the old miniature space battles or the old Trek CGI battles or modern fancy battles? The winner is classic Trek CG battles, so Voyager, DS9, Enterprise era.
Okay.
Old miniature battles at 21%, which is fantastic. And then new fancy CG battles that are a complete fucking muddy mess of shit at 17%.
Well, that does include Lower Decks and Prodigy.
That's true. That's true.
And
oh yeah, Prodigy. Why didn't anybody bring up the last episode of
season 1?
Jesus.
So I was like, you're in battle. That's an episode of battle. Talk about some of the TNG. It's 3 shots. That fucking battle's like 47 shots. And 50 ships, and everything's firing. It's crazy.
There's a lot of stuff that you guys missed. So
part 2. But also there's one more super chat, a 10 from Classic for Real, which I don't.
Oh yes.
$10
to bump up the battle of the coalition of Medina, a battle between the Enterprise and the vessel erstwhile, captained by a rogue captain, over possession of the Jewel of Thesia. It's epic in all the words that you said. So
what is this? What is this? What does it mean?
S+ tier.
I don't know what this battle is. What are you on about? Which battle is that? I don't know which battle that is.
Regardless, it's a funny way to end. Thank you so much, Classic for Real.
But which battle is that? What?
I don't know. Just if you can't Google it,
I can't. I don't know what.
Exactly, because he's making shit up. Regardless, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We are at our time limit, so again, you guys are awesome. Join us tomorrow for another live. Not sure exactly what we're going to be doing. We'll see.
Yes.
But we will continue this battle discussion with this chart. We still got lots of room on it. At some point next week, probably.
Yeah,
so tune in for that. If you see
interesting. I've really enjoyed the.
And we've also thrown around the idea of doing a live viewer's choice where you pit whatever ship you like against whatever ship you like. Star Trek edition, and then we might do multi-era sci-fi or multi-genre sci-fi stuff as well. So Star Destroyer versus the Enterprise D or something.
Yeah, we did obviously the more gamified big version, which we did previously with the ship's computer was sort of randomized. This would be more direct. So you say very literally, simple discussion, D versus E. We discuss, we vote, we pick winner pile. So very straightforward in a way, but also could be some quite passionate debates. There's no captain, there's no bullshit. It's very right.
Yeah. So anyway, tune in for anything. Make sure you're subscribed and notified. Click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss anything. And the Tomy, yeah, I talked to them about that earlier when you were sharing. Check out the Tomy interview we did, the exclusive interview at STLV, which is out today. You still have a few days to grab your refit. If you have any questions or concerns about it, check out the interview. I'm sure we address most of those in there. And maybe they can get a few more orders based on our interviews. So check it out on the Trekyards channel. And on the Captain Play personal channel, go check out our STLV trip. All parts, 7 parts of it. So it's kind of broken down by day, and then the commander's perspective is the entire trip in one video for him. Yes. He had less footage than I did. So check it out.
I was doing different things. I was doing close-ups more than anything else. Yeah, and like I said, I watched that interview because it's on our few native 4K videos because I shot it in 6K and it's 4K. It's pretty.
Yes.
So watch it.
All right. So until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's had a Foley.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining us.
You guys are amazing.
This was an amazing live.
Bye guys.